Hello comrades, and welcome to MOWAS2 Assault Squad 2 unit showcase for the Cold War mod. Another original request was it was for the Nobody Except Us units, but I realized once I started placing down these guys that it might get confusing. So the people that don't know, Cold War mod, or that Nobody Except Us is an add-on mod, and it requires Cold War mod as the base, which is what you'll be seeing right now. But yeah, so I'll be doing a second video after this one. It will be the Novorossiya and Ukraine factions, because Cold War doesn't have Novorossiya, and then the Ukraine faction is using the old 2013 and 1990s type Ukrainian army. So that's why the videos are going to be different. So just yeah. Now we'll just get right into it. First we have the nation of France. We have was it tier 1 operator of some kind, some fancy French name. Interesting patch. Maybe French Foreign Legion? No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know. Still nice. I'm not a big fan of this mod's player models. I know that there are a lot, I think, lower poly or something like that for playing purposes and optimization. So yeah, so me personally, I just think they look too clean and flat kind of look to it. Same with like Call to Arms. It's just too clean. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway, it's not that they aren't bad. It's just it's not my type. But yeah, there's a lot of other amazing features in this mod that I'll talk about later. Here we got the standard French army, and we got the scouts. And I was gotta say, this is an interesting pattern. I think they've kept it pretty much the same. They haven't. I don't think they've switched to multicam yet, which is kind of nice. I'm kind of annoyed to see all these countries just using multicam or OCP. Here we have the vehicle operators, and we got this really goofy looking helmet here. I don't know if, like, it looks like kind of a Halo-ish type thing. Just goofy. Anyway, here we have the Czechia Republic, or Republic of Czechia. It's pretty nice. Small faction, not much to it, but got a interesting pattern. I think the only other mod to have Czechia is the Awakening of Europe mod, which I showcased a few years ago. It's a nice little faction to have, one we see often of. Here we have the People's Liberation Army of China, or the Chinese Armed Forces. Got a really goofy looking helmet. Like, I thought the other one was goofy, but this, like, what is this shit? Damn, brother. I just kitted out. Anyway, moving on. Here we have the Special Forces units. Pretty nice. There you have a desert-ish style to them. I kind of like it. I dig it. Here we have the Scouts. It's an interesting patch of some kind. Another elite special operations unit of some form. We got the pilot. Got the standard armed forces, and this really weird looking man pad of some kind. I don't know. It's ugly. It's weird. Hopefully it works. Another cool thing about this mod is that it has these deployable drones. So you can like throw them. Actually, we'll try throwing it this way. And then yeah, you can deploy it, and then, well, you actually need a specific script to be able to get it to fly or something, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very unique. Certainly a multiplayer focused thing, so you can kind of fly that around. And these things actually do have a range as well. I remember friend Diesel showed me that these drones, if you get out of the range of the operator, it'll just start circling around or it'll crash, which is pretty cool. It's just not something I thought was possible, but this mod has done so much that I thought impossible. Like with that bridge layer you guys saw in the last video. Still, very cool. Moving on then. Just got kind of standard PLA troops. Very nice. Nothing too unique or out there, I guess. Yeah. Moving on, we now have the United Kingdom. We have the SAS operators. Very cool. And they got the, I think it's called the fast helmet. It's got that like rails and soft ear muff things. It's pretty cool. I don't mind it. Standard British Army. We got the, what is it, that camo frizzy hair netting thing. Make it blend into the bush better, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty nice. You got Comrade-in-Law there. You got the Javelin, and I think I made this mistake in the Warway video, actually. I mentioned how Warway was the only mod that had the top attack kind of firing of the Javelin, but this mod updated. When it updated, I'm sure it was years ago when it updated, but the Javelin does work the way it's supposed to. It does top attack now. But before, I remember it fired like an RPG, so that's pretty cool to see that they finally added that. You got the vehicle operators, vehicle support. It's pretty nice. Not a whole lot there, but then again, you don't need a whole lot, I guess. Here we have the Polish army. We got the border guard here. Strez Granitsinias. I don't know. I don't know Polish. It's difficult. Here we got the standard army. Got a really weird looking RPG here. I think that's in I've seen that in one other mod. I want to say UFO or possibly P80, but it's a really goofy looking RPG. I know it's been used in Ukraine by both Russia and the Ukrainians, so pretty cool to see that added in. Not too big of a faction here. Still very nice though. Alright, here we have Tajikistan, which is pretty cool because I don't think any other mod has actually added Tajikistan. I remember, I think it was back in January of 2022, and then I think later on as well into the year there was a lot of border clashes with the, I think the Kyrgyzstan army, and so it looked like there could have been something forming up there too, but I don't think anything came of it, which is kind of interesting that you know, that there is such a conflict out there, but then again, maybe not. You're all forced under the banner of the USSR for so many years. Undoubtedly tensions after you're finally released from them, but pretty cool. Just a faction we don't see often. Here we have Kazakhstan, and Kazakhstan was part of Red Rising mod, and it was part of UFO. I don't think it's in UFO now, but it was using an older type of Kazakh army, but this one uses the modern camo pattern and some of their modern gear. And as you'll notice, the CSTO flag patch there. I remember I've never really looked at or focused much on CSTO, but when that shit happened in Kazakhstan in January, last January, of course. It was kind of interesting to see the CSTO actually being used for once, and I'm fairly certain it was for propaganda reasons. I don't think the Kazakh regime was under any genuine threat of being toppled, but yeah, very cool. Again, a country we don't see often of, and it's nice to see the modern camo, not the 90s. Here we are moving on to Iran, and I gotta be honest, I have seen this pattern in uniform before, but I don't know if it's the standardized uniform of the Iranian forces. But still very cool, very unique, kind of a weird color mix for the desert environment, which a lot of Iran is. But still, very cool. We're gonna move on down to Belarus, or Belarus. Very nice, we got the VDV here. And I'll say this, I've seen some pictures and stuff of their VDV before, but I've never seen them use BDU. I mean, I know that both Russia and Belarus kind of use a wide array and mix mash of uniforms, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. I like the flat olive tan kind of look, though. I think that's nice. I got the vehicle operators, and here we have the Belarusian army, which essentially uses the Russian uniform. They just have their own patches. That's essentially what I glean from their from looking at them. Not very unique or different, but still very nice. I genuinely do like this style of uniform. I thought it was really nice. I thought the Russians really had something going there for a minute, but we've all seen now where that went. And here we have the border guard, which is using the I want to say KZS pattern, which was used by the KGB for the KGB border guard in the Soviet Union. So it's pretty cool to see that they're still using it. And I even remember seeing Ukraine, actually. They're showing this kayak with a grenade launcher mounted on it with a little electric motor, and the guys using it, their uniform was KZS, but their vests and helmets were MM14. So that was really weird to see for a modern unit, but still very nice. I personally like this style. I think it's good. Here we are on to Israel. Their special forces unit starts with an S. I'm blanking on the name. It's like Syriat or Surviot or something. That's interesting. Looks good. You can see the new idle animations here. We got vehicle ops, and then I gotta be honest, this is like the goofiest helmet ever. Like I thought India had a pretty goofy looking helmet with that almost turbanish style, like kind of looks like a box on your head, but this looks like a garbage bag painted and thrown on top of your head. It looks awful. No disrespect to Israel, but like, man, you guys, weird helmet. But overall, like, you guys use a nice flat green camo, or not camo, flat green uniform, so that's kind of nice. Not too much, it's a small faction, not very in-depth. Here we have the German army. I believe this is the standard German army. Or, actually no, I think it might be the KSK operators. Well, whichever they are. Pretty nice. I like the Flecktarn. I think that's going to be one of the best patterns out there. I got the vehicle operators. Or no, here's the regular German army. And they too have a deployable hand recon drone type thing. And again, it's a unique detail that you don't see in any other mod. I don't think you will ever see in any other mod. Like, it's just ridiculous, the detail of coding and depth that they have. It's pretty awesome too. Gets you some pretty unique gameplay. But yeah, that's the German army, the Bundeswehr. So mixed in there is, these are all, for the most part, those are the factions you just saw are multiplayer factions. However, there's also a single player tab, and it has some unique stuff too. Primarily Arab factions. So you got like Syrian heroes. And these are each different characters for, I'm assuming the single player campaign. Which I only played once, but that was when the mod first came out years ago for Assault Squad. So, yeah, they've expanded on it, and that's kind of what these guys are. They're just like these random Syrian hero units for the single player. I figured I'd just include them, because, you know, if I'm showing off all the units, technically, you know, these are units, so. Pretty nice. Moving on, here we got the United States. I'm assuming this unit here is called Kamikaze, so I'm assuming it's the Switchblade operator. You got the little tablet thing there to fly the drone. You got the classic little hand-thrown UAV, and I've actually gotten to use one of these once. Well, not use it. I got to like be the one to throw it. Someone else is operating the camera thing for it. But I'll say it's super light. It's like it almost felt like throwing like one of those toy styrofoam balsa wood kind of airplanes as a kid. Really interesting. You don't have these arrows on it though. It's just flat gray. But still very cool to see. The standard armed forces and their beautiful OCP, which is essentially multi-cam. Me personally, I kind of hope we just go back to BDU, but nope, we want to try and keep things modern. We even got the proper DMR here. Really nice. I think most mods the US is still using some older sniper from the fucking 90s. But here we have the Delta operators. They have a different type of multicam, which I wonder if that's an actual thing or not. It's a lot lighter, as you can see. It's almost more deserty-ish. A lot more tan dominant, but still very nice. You got a unique knot of some kind on here. It's like 2 different kinds. Interesting. Very cool. Here we have the Navy SEALs. I don't know why they don't have body armor on. I know that on the ModDB page there's now like 4 parts to the most recent version of this mod, so maybe I have to re-download it. But this is still 1.7.5, so I'm not too sure. Still a very nice very nice unit. I gotta be honest, I kind of like the pixelated style more than multicam kind of whatever style, that OCP style. I'm not a fan of it, but yeah, like this where it's like just different colors of green for pixel, I think it works. But that's just me kind of thing. Here we have the good old Ranger Regiment with the Ranger tab on their chest. And you got some kind of morale patch there. Very cool looking. Got some unique weapons. They had, well, I'd say unique, but like this XM80 or something. It's like a grenade launcher rifle thing. Kind of weird looking, but here we have the classic good old Marine Corps and their CAD-PAT copy, the MARPAT. Very nice. There's also a desert variant for this mod and obviously in real life, so very nice though. And then we got the vehicle operators. That helmet doesn't look like it fits. That looks like it's sitting a little high, so I think they have to adjust that. But again, we're seeing this weird, goofy Halo type helmet thing. Whatever it's supposed to be. Anyway, moving on. We have the Russian Federation. Standard army here. And again, like I said, I think their modern kit and I think their modern uniform, it looks good and I think it could work. But it's just kind of sad to see how quickly things fell apart for them and how they're now just using this whole mix mash of what was it, like SH-86 or 68 helmets and older Soviet kind of stuff, and many of them not even having body armor. Like again, this kit looks really good, but they just couldn't get it out there in time, I guess. Or they can't match the production for it, but still very cool. We got the Igla launcher here. We got the vehicle operators. Here we have the Russian GRU, special forces unit of some kind. I don't know if it's just maybe another name for Spetsnaz group, but whatever it is, it's nice. I like it. They use an interesting camo. It's not multi-camo. It's interesting. It's unique. Here we have the Russian, I think, Marines or MSO. Or was it Morph or something like that? I don't know. But they have a lighter color of the standard infantry equipment. Pretty cool. This is a weird looking uniform. It's like, I don't know who uses it, but still very nice. Yep, not a whole lot there. It's again part of the Russian tab, so yeah. And this is part of the Russian single player tab. These are, maybe it's supposed to be like a mercenary group unit thing operating in Syria. I don't know. But it's just special operator for Russians in Syria. It's very mixed mashed and cool, but that's kind of what you get with Spec Ops units, you know. Alright, moving on. We have, oh boy. We have the nation of Georgia. Got the elites here using multicam. And then Georgia essentially adopted the MARPAT from the Marine Corps. It works, you know. And here we have the Chechens. This is the 1990s Chechens, the ones that fought Yeltsin and then Putin. And so this is part of the original single-player campaign where you're fighting in Grozny. So it's not supposed to be like modern-day Chechnya, Kadyrov type units. If anyone's wondering why you don't see those. We might see them in the next video with the proper mod show-off. But anyway, yeah, Chechens, just mix mash of shit that they stole off dead Soviet troops and dead Russians. And then there's a winter variation, but they're essentially the same. They just kind of have a little more different equipment on. Got more body armor, I guess. Very nice. Very rebellish. Here we have the nation of Cuba. It's alright. I mean, they've kind of been isolated in time due to U.S. embargo and blockade, so not a whole lot they can do with their army. Got some kind of elite operator unit. I don't know what these guys exactly are, but yeah, it's very cool. Very interesting. Again, very Soviet, because, you know, lack of modernization abilities due to the U.S. Very nice, though. Good. It's an interesting addition. I don't think there's a lot of countries that add that. I think, or a lot of mods. I think the only other one is UFO, and then Redmanov's Terran Wars mod. He did a Cuba faction. It looks really good too. Here we have the nation of Estonia. It's very nice. I like, again, the very green-dominated pixel style. I think it looks good. It's very nice to see the smaller Baltic states being added in. And moving on, keeping it with the Baltics theme, I'm fairly certain, right? Nope. Hungary, Hungary, the nation of Hungary. Again, another nation we don't really see in a lot of mods. But then again, I guess there isn't much need. Still very nice. Cool to see them added in. I know they've been kind of a problem, and well, maybe not them, but Viktor Orban, he's a bit of a head scratcher there on where his ideals and loyalties lie. It's still very nice to see the faction there. Look at an interesting pattern too. They very much have their own style. I don't know if they still have this or if they've switched to multicam like most countries are. You're not gonna hear me stop complaining about that, because I am. You know, we have the I think it's the 1980s and 1990s Iraq. Like this helmet with the red triangle, I'm fairly certain that's the old school Iraq. It's definitely not used today. I think it denotes the Republican Guard unit, right? Kind of talking out of my ass there. I haven't really researched or looked into it because I just don't care. I got standard army. You got recruits here who's a different flat tan pattern. Not pattern, but uniform. Again, interesting to see. And this is part of the single player, so this won't be multiplayer. Here we have the nation of Taiwan, or no, Japan. My dumbass. Japan, the Japanese Self-Defense Forces. It's pretty nice, very small, obviously, not much. Again, they're in the single player tab, so maybe there's a future missions or something planned for them. They weren't in the multiplayer tab, so maybe they're not meant for it. Moving on, we have Latvia. Another nice country to see. Very interesting pattern there. Pixel, but like with more of a brown and tan. It's a unique style. Something. Again, just nice to see more Baltic countries added in. Alright, and then here we have Lithuania. And Lithuania's got two different types of uniforms here. I've got this, I think this is like a defense force unit of some kind, if I'm remembering the tab correctly, I don't know. But yeah, they got two different types of uniforms here. Very nice. Obviously, US equipment for the most part. Except for the rifle. I think the rifle is German? Or... yeah, no, it's German. It's the G3, right? It's a variant of the G3. An old school sniper here. Well, maybe not old school, but they got a sniper rifle with a wooden finish, which is nice. So that's Latvia. Or Lithuania, pardon. Here we have... where is it? We already looked at them. Here we go, Taiwan. I knew I saw them somewhere around here. Very nice. Very cool style of pattern. Again, pixel and green dominant. Just looks so nice. Alright, and then last but not least, we have the civilian faction. It's not actually a faction, it's just the civilian tab. You got security guards. Got the different civilian skins. Got the Western medic, Eastern medic, construction workers, and then you got this kind of random PMC skins thing. And that's essentially it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and like I said, I am gonna do the Nobody Except Us factions, because the Cold War mod, Ukraine is using its old 90s style and not the 2022. So yeah. Anyway, that's all. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.